Good morning. It's Sunday at 11 and I am in Bali today. I know that everybody is pretty busy at this time of the year and there may not be a lot of you here live. I'm happy to be back live today. As last week I had a conflict with being able to actually be live on Sunday at 11. So, at any rate, what I chose for this topic, I woke up a few mornings ago and I thought to myself, how many of us are really living our own dream? So today we're going to talk about, are you living your dream and how we can do that? Now, if you saw the post on Facebook, I had a lot of blends out there because each one of these seemed to me to give me a story, a path to follow. I probably won't use all of them this morning. However, I will pick and choose some, whatever my hands fall on, and I may use a single oil or two. I hope that's okay. So, at any rate, happy Sunday. I'm glad that you're here, and we'll get started. How do you know whether you're living your dream? Well, to me, now, everything you hear me say is what I believe and what I think. It may have nothing to do with what anyone else says, feels, and thinks. So, what my feeling is listen to different people, pick and choose, because every single one of us is unique. And what works for one person may not be exactly the right thing for another, because we are unique. So personally, I feel that the best thing we can do is to make that connection with the source, our creator, learn to trust what we are hearing. And so it's all a part of I did a whole Gary series called Grow Actively Refining Yourself. And there are really three words that keep coming back to me that stand out. One is refinement, which I kind of took from my husband, Stephen. That's one of his favorite words, that we're not attempting to change ourselves, but rather to refine who we are. And this requires understanding more about ourselves and just refining, smoothing out the rough edges and looking and seeing what's there underneath. And the other two words that keep coming to me I hear myself saying them over and over again, are to allow the process to unfold. So refinement, allowing, unfolding. Now, some of us, most of us, many of us, whatever, are chronic planners. I was a big planner most of my life, and I planned exactly how I would do things. Some of us had parents who planned exactly what our childhood would be like and what we would be prepared to do. In actuality, it may not really fit in with your dream. So how do you know whether you're living your dream or someone else's? Okay. This is a great question. My feeling is how passionate you are about everything that you do. If you are passionate, you are doing something that you love and something that is part of utilizing all of the things that you were created to be. If you look at the things that you're doing and you think, oh gosh, I have to do this again, or I have to do something else, or I have to go somewhere, that is not creating passion in your life. Would you agree? So First of all, let's put something on to ground with. I'm going to use Sacred Mountain first. And I'm just going to breathe it in. I have a lot of oils sitting here, and if I knock them over and make a big mess, I apologize. But as I apply that Sacred Mountain, I intend to connect with my source, with my creator, whatever that concept is that you have of that which created everything, and intend to make that connection so very strong. Now, many of you know I'm not trying to plug my new book. I just love the cover. I am so grateful for that cover because it is my visual. I can close my eyes in just a second. I can visualize this sacred space. And this is, in case you haven't seen it, this is what it looks like. It's that creating a boundary to have the chaos in the outer world outside, and that connection and that harmony and balance inside. I'm grateful. Stephen and Kuryu Young and I kind of worked together. Kuryu is the graphic artist who brought this to life. And I'm so grateful because that is what I think. Whenever I'm feeling unbalanced or that things are not passionate, things that I'm doing, I close my eyes and take a deep breath and I visualize that sacred space, that harmony inside with that beautiful gold and silver sparkling boundary and the chaos outside. So, now, there are many ways that you may find out what you really are passionate about. My feeling is that when you like to do something, when anything that you really enjoy doing is part of who you were created to be. And it's probably something you think that you do very well. So I suggest to everyone that you go home, you may be home now, but you find a time when you have a few minutes alone. Apply an oil or 2 or 3 or 4. I also love to use balsam fir or blue spruce or Valor or black spruce to just sit down and ground and attempt to make that connection and really think about what you feel you do well. Now, you don't have to tell anyone, but the fact is that you think about things that you think you are, that you truly feel you do the best. We all have some things we do better and some things we don't. Some things we do less well. I call those our lesser strengths and our lesser strengths, because I don't like the word weakness. So as you understand your strengths, your greater strengths, you can begin to incorporate those things. Now, if you're having trouble figuring out what do I do well, even though you don't have to tell anyone, think about what you like to do the most, what you are most happy doing. Now, a blend that you may find helpful would be to go to inner child, taking you back to that point, of wonder and awe. When we're children, most of us, many of us, did not have that carefree, happy childhood. However, we can remember some moments in which we were joyous and just felt wonder and awe before we reached that age of responsibility. Now, I know we all kind of get locked up in that age of responsibility, and it seems to start very early in our lives, doesn't it? We can bring ourselves back, though, to that mental state where we truly were carefree. And that's where we will likely find the things that truly make us happy. Okay? So it may be quite different from what you thought before. Now, I'm confident that every single one of us can incorporate the things that truly make us happy into what we can do on a daily basis. Now, the job or jobs that you have, whether they're in the home or outside the home, may require utilizing different skills. However, it is possible. I would never have dreamed it so if I hadn't found it myself. I really believe that it is possible for us to find a vehicle in which we can incorporate our greater strengths, the things that make us happy and joyous, the things that make us excited to get out of bed in the morning, to be that crusader. These are the 3 cards that I selected that helped me determine what we would talk about today. The crusader is the passionate leader, the one who is so strongly excited about what they're doing, that others follow along and get excited as well. So it's all about uncovering who we truly are. Now, an essential oil that I found is not one of the ones that I mentioned, but cedarwood. Cedarwood is wonderful for helping us to understand who we truly are and helping us to really take off the masks. We all put on masks for others because we feel that there are expectations, whether it is our parents, our friends, our co-workers, whoever it is, that there is a certain expectation of what we should do and what we should not do. Well, I don't like shoulds anymore. So if we create something and learn to do the things that we love, we will spread that passionate energy to everyone. The subject that I have been given for the symposium that Dr. Winker is coordinating again this year is how to remain passionate after 20 years of being in Young Living. And when thinking about that, I realized it's because I'm doing things that I love to do. If I don't love doing what I'm doing, there's no way I could remain passionate for 20 years doing what I'm doing. Am I making any sense at all? So, as we are learning more about ourselves, refining ourselves, then we have that opportunity. So, how are we going to do this? Now, for me, as I said, it's Young Living because there are so many different ways we can share the oils and do things. My members absolutely just amaze me at the things that they create, things that I could never do because it's not part of my skill set. And they do it so well. I love just watching. And this also makes me very happy. I learned that for me, it's not just sharing the product, and I do share it because I believe in it. However, it's also about watching others grow. This may not be your passion. That again is what you will learn as you understand more about who you truly are. So let's apply another blend. Some of these blends I used last week, some are different. This is Awaken. We just had that Awaken summit in Singapore. And it's about awakening to who you truly are, what your passion is. As you apply this blend, really, really intend that those little molecules go wherever they need to go to bring about that energy of awakening, of understanding who you truly are, what really makes you excited. And it may take a little while of figuring this out. And something else that I have found is very important on this particular journey is to forgive ourselves. To forgive ourselves for not being where we think we should be, for not liking what we think we should be liking, for doing something that we may have thought, oh, I wish I had done that. Well, I say this over and over again because I truly believe it. The past is the past. It brought us to this particular moment. We can't change anything that has already happened, so the best thing we can do is forget it and focus on this moment, forgiving ourselves for what we did do that we feel we might have been able to do better, forgiving ourselves for not doing something in the past, and looking around and determining what can we do right this moment to create a future. Now, in the past, I would have been focusing in this moment on how I can plan and how I can visualize this future journey that I'm going to have. The fact is that as I stopped planning it, when I was planning all the time, I was staying in the boundaries, in the box of what I could visualize. There is no way I could ever have planned to get from where I was 20 years ago to where I am right now. It could not have happened. Geographically, it could not have happened, and emotionally, nothing. No way, physically, it could not have happened. It had to unfold a little at a time, and that was all due to self-discovery, discovering what really, truly I was passionate about, and believing, oh, you knew it was coming, believing in the process, allowing that process to take place, even if it didn't make a lot of sense. And the balsam fir, which the blue spruce and the black spruce, is that energy of nurturing yourself and others, no matter what you're doing, what you have done, where you're going, just believing in the process and allowing it to unfold. This was totally new for me. As I said, I was never one to let things happen. I was always the one who made them happen. But magic began to occur as soon as I started that trickling process of allowing things to occur. So let's see. We've used a lot of oils and I've babbled on for quite a while. So I'm going to suggest that if you have the blend release, that is a super blend to release your fears, but also release your beliefs about who you have to be. Release your beliefs about how things have to happen, and just get into that mode of allowing. Now, the freedom blend seems really a perfect thing to use. If you don't have freedom, you may choose to use lemon. Most of us have lemon essential oil, and that is a super energy of letting go, of releasing, of experiencing the freedom, of breaking out of the bonds of that box that confining box that we have put ourselves in for so long, and allowing those beliefs, those former beliefs, to just dissolve away, letting us experience new and more passionately rewarding things ahead. So, I had mentioned the blend Envision, and envision, rather than envisioning that plan as you use this blend, you may choose to envision yourself happy, joyous, in a state of awe, and just passionate about everything that you're doing. When you exist in this state, there is no limit to what can happen. Even though we think of envision as envisioning the plan, it's more like envisioning what you are experiencing inside. That joy, and joy would be another blend that would be a very exciting one, because we're really here to enjoy our journey, not to drudgingly go through every day thinking of all the things we have to do. Would you agree? So, why did I select harmony? Because I like harmony in my life at all times. That's just me. I also mentioned highest potential. That may be one that you would choose to use often. I use it pretty much every day, because my intent when applying this oil is always to reach my highest potential at that moment. It's not about what my highest potential was yesterday or what my highest potential may be tomorrow, what it might be today, to allow the process to bring me into that wonderful state where I am achieving my highest potential and finding that joy in my life. Transformation may be another blend that you would choose to use. And of course, Valor. Valor giving you that courage, because everything that we've learned, most of us, is that we're supposed to do things in a certain way, and it takes courage to change. Change is not always comfortable. In fact, it is often uncomfortable. So as we move forward, focusing on what makes us joyful and passionate, then we truly can experience our highest potential in present time, which is another great blend to use. So as you go through this week, do attempt to take a few moments. It may take more than 1 or 2 days for you to figure out those things, to really admit to yourself what you feel you do well and what you really enjoy doing. And then it will, as you understand these things better, you may see new things opening up for you. So have a beautiful week of self-understanding, of things opening up, and have joy and passion every single day. And I'll see you next Sunday.